How's it going? S Oak, always on time. I'm guessing Betsy's the other one who's on time. Oh, Soggy Pits, what's up? So I thought I'd play a happy little bouncy song for the intro. So how's everyone doing today? Everybody doing good? If you have any questions in this stream, as always, feel free to ask, and we'll interrupt. As always, it's an ADDDDDD stream, and that means that, you know, if you have a question or if I see something going on in a tank that's of scientific or y'all being entertained, if it's in the interest of that, we'll switch to that. So I wanted to show you that I've changed up the parameters in this high-end tank. High-tech tank, I should say. I've got CO2 going. The lights are on less hours. I cut the lights by 20%, which is still enough that the plants are growing fine. But I've put the plant lights. Hey, I just got the best LED for $100, 240 watts. Wow, one-man Aquarius. That's insane, dude. That is that's a lot of watts for an LED. You trying to flower something with that, or what's up? But yeah, so I went and got some new endlers. Just this tank, basically, it still has some ammonia, and so the plecos and the snails and the endlers, they all seem to handle it just fine up to 0.25 parts per million. It's not always that high, but it spikes up that high if I disrupt the substrate. So for now, they're in there. Sadly, I put one of my Danios in there, and he did not make it after about a week, so that was a bummer. But live and learn, and that was a gold ring Danio that didn't make it. In here, we also have some babies that I'm preliminarily have sexed as females. They're leopard endlers, and you can see there's about 6 leopard endlers in here right now. I've split up the colony. Well, there were 2 colonies, but I've split them up. Also exciting news is I have shrimp on the way from FLIPAQUATICS. I'm going to let you guys in on the little surprise or what's coming because I'm partnering up with Flip. And also, by the way, man, have you noticed how much these algae eaters have grown? They're growing like weeds. But yeah, so FLIPAQUATICS is sending out, he was nice enough to do a $150 credit. Hold on, I'm getting some weird alien feedback. My router is feeding back into my speaker. Can you hear that awful noise? All right, let's kill that. Okay, sorry about that. Wow, 12 people are filing in quickly today. That's cool. I wasn't sure about this time, but I thought I'd give it a whirl. Usually I do a little later on Tuesdays. But yeah, so what we have going on here, let me move a light forward. Yeah, that is a crazy light. How much was that light? That 200 and, did you say 40 watt? Because these are 30 watts each, and they, as you can see, kind of flood out the picture even on my phone. Like, unless I come in close, like if I look at something that's not as bright, they look white. $100 new. Wow, what's the brand on that light? The other mishap that occurred this week, and I'm not too bent out of shape about it. Oh, by the way, you can see, let's get this to focus. Come on. You can see all my diatom algae. I just embarrassed myself there. The nearite snails have not been keeping up with it in this tank, but what I've been doing is I've been rotating CO2, so it's kind of caused some algae to grow. And in this tank, it's diatom green algae, but I want to show you the cause of my mishap this week. Where is he? Or she. Well, they're both there. Great. So these two are the reason I have no cherry shrimp in this tank anymore. I got, if you're talking about where I got these lights, I got them on eBay. They're called GoSun 30 watt spotlights with Cree CREE LEDs. If you're asking, who was it that had the light, the 240 watt, one man Aquarius? Yeah, I don't know. That's nuts. So, I hope it's not a fire hazard. Tell me how hot it gets. That's what I'm curious about right now. Right about meow. But the lily, the Nymphaea micrantha, still doing great. This is the mother plant. The other plant, mother and the other, is over in the high-tech tank. You probably saw it. It's growing really slow because it's got so much light pounding on it. But so these are, and I think they're purdy. These are some kribs. These are pulchers. So instead of my pelvicachromis taeniatus, these guys are pulcher kribs, but they're quite a bit bigger than everything else in the tank, except for the Siamese algae eaters. And the male's probably 3.5 inches long. And I should have known, but I thought I had enough hiding spots. And at night, I'll still find some shrimp. Catching some live stream till I have to pick up a new tank for raising a pistogramma fry. Right on, dude. Congrats, Laps Aquarium and Vivariums. I'll have to check out your channel. I'll have to check out some channels after the cast. I always see people with channels and I'm like, okay, I got to go look at that. And then I forget which ones to check out. So I'm sorry if it takes a couple times, but I'll get there. So yeah, also I wanted to give a huge thanks to Betsy. I don't know if she's in here yet. Is she in here yet? But basically she's helping me with the Facebook group and she's starting topics and, she's basically like starting threads of what y'all are interested in, home show threads, things like that. And so I've kind of entrusted her with hooking that up so that she's on Facebook still. Yeah, I know. She's probably talking to me on Facebook right now. Her and I both have a really bad case of insomnia all the time. And so she and I have pretty similar sleep schedules and have kind of become friends over that. So yeah, shout out to Betsy for real. What's up, Swag Skywalker, Nerd Boy Aquatics? That's a long name. I'm just gonna have to go with Nerd Boy Aquatics. Although I do like Skywalker a lot. I'm a big Star Wars and Trek fan. There's no need to fight people. But basically, I wanted to show you how these had colored up too while we're doing this live stream. This light washes out on the live stream how nice everything is color-wise. It kind of just looks bright sometimes. But they have a nice canary yellow color to them and then like a nice belly color that's really, really bold. Now, the male of the trio, he has like blood red fins and he has dropsy on one of his eyes. I can't catch him. I'm just going to let him do his thing because he doesn't seem to be at all stopped by it. Or maybe it's Popeye. I don't know. I can't even see him long enough to figure it out. But I do know they ate all my red shrimp. So the ones that I bred from scratch, he ate them all. So, Betsy, hello. We was talking about yous. I was saying thank you so much for organizing Facebook because I am a plebe, as the nerd hackers say. I do not know, or the Romans, I suppose. Aquarium Cop, welcome. Everybody, welcome. Oh yeah, it's getting hot. 240 watt lamp, that's getting hot. I bet it is. Maybe if you can suspend it up in air, then it won't be an issue. So before the gudgeons were my shrimp problem in this tank. Now these, well, actually, this is a different kind. So this is a taeniatus, well, scaredy cat. These are taeniatus, pelvicachromis taeniatus, moliwe fish right here, these two. But these guys are pelvicachromis pulcher. Now, you shouldn't really mix them, so I got to pull the juveniles out of there soon because these other ones are just about adults. And Vexen Cat, welcome. So, yeah, that's going on in here, but they ate every single one of my red shrimp in less than a week. So, luckily, I have a whole colony downstairs, 2 colonies actually, but they ate all the cherry shrimp like in a night. Like, I guess they were just whining because I didn't feed them like a million times a day as they're like inclined to eat. So let me get some food. Let's feed them right now. Sometimes this tank's kind of interesting to feed. We're going to go downstairs and check out my new shrimp. Also, I'll tell you what I ordered from FLIPAQUATICS, what should be arriving later this week, and we'll be able to check it out. But for now, let's watch a little feeding frenzy. So I always pour in the food around the outflow of the tank, and that looks like a lot of food that's in there. There's a lot of fish hiding in there, plus all the cories at the bottom. So I like to watch them eat for a sec. Sometimes they get all riled up, hot and bothered. The black neon tetras don't seem to be eating as well as the others, so I might get some floating flake food from them. Sergeant Tanks, welcome, man. Dude, I'm jealous that you're in Michigan. I want to go to that live bear convention really bad. I have live bears in every single one of my tanks, so super jealous. I got these recently. These are called blue cloud endlers, and they're from the black bar endler. If you see, if you can see how nice they look. And then I've got these 3-spot endlers, which are also pretty closely related. Thanks, man, Water Wizard. This is not scaped, as I would say. This tank is just full of plants growing at warp speed as much as I can make them grow at warp speed. So, yeah, but it's gotten a lot calmer. Where am I from? What country do I live in? Is that for me? I'm in Seattle, Washington, the U.S. Yeah, it's jungle style, totally. But basically, I've got these rocks that are like 40 to 60 pounds that are just like a massive hill. And the cories like to hang out on there, especially if in the afternoon, if I'm around, I'll put the light back on the rocks over here. And the cories like to sit and kind of sunbathe, as it were. But this time of year, I've got a direct line. That's the west. That's directly west. And the light comes in here. As you can see, it's already coming into here. But for the second half of the day, we get real sunlight, which is probably part of why I'm getting diatom algae on the front of this faster than the normal rate. So I have to decide between whether, like, see these plants? I planted them here in this skinny little, like, plants shouldn't survive. They were little just stems. And they've gone insane and made it up here. So I'll have to cut off the tops of those, put them somewhere else. They're growing really well, as are my arculata, leucostris arculata, and then Ludwigia leucostris. Those are all doing really good. The lemon tetras are fire, thanks. Yeah, they are orange-eyed lemon tetras, and I love them very much. I got them for $6 at a fish club auction, and probably the best $6 in the fish world that I've ever spent. I really love watching them. They do this cool thing where the males will pick a point, so that's why I have all these high points, is because I haven't really scaped this tank per se. Like this tank over here, this is scaped. Like I built the rock scape with an idea. This tank over here, it's scaped. This one, I would consider myself not really scaping it, but just moving stuff around so the most plants possible can grow. And basically, these spotlights allow stuff to grow really, really well. I mean, this hornwort has grown in a week. So from all the way down in the bottom, it's grown in a week. Octopus, pogostem and octopus has grown, it'll grow a few inches a day in this tank. So there's certain plants that just explode in this tank. Yeah, you know, so I wish, well, thanks, SO. I'm glad you dig this tank. It's really well balanced in that I only add a little bit of fertilizer every once in a while. But basically, I don't do anything to this tank. I don't do a ton of water changes, and it's just kind of magically imbalanced. And like I really like watching all the critters I've put in here. It doesn't seem probable that they would get along because there's also like 4 types of cory cats in here. So yeah, also you can see the hornwort, even out of the light, has grown all the way to the top. But I was trying to get you guys a shot of these, and it's hard with how bright the lights are, even when I move them. But they're really pretty. Here we come, maybe. But they're called blue sky endlers, and they're a wild type that just has been selectively caught out of the wild from Venezuela, and they have a blue box on them that's sky blue. Thanks for reminding people to hit the like button, Betsy. So this is the colony of my hopes and dreams. We'll go over that one more time, just showing folks who haven't seen it before the scape. This is my Iwagumi scape, and also my only scape or tank that has T5 lights. Patricia, are you talking to me now, or didn't you move? What's substrate on the gravel bow front tank? It's gravel, no dirt cap, gravel with a little bit of sand in there. And I put root tabs in there once upon a blue moon, and it's just worked out. Now, I've had floating plants in this tank because some of my... Thanks, man. We'll go downstairs and I'll show you more. So I got these also this week. I really love these lime green rasboras or neon green rasboras. Those are really cool. I also have, so I have a fish that I'm curious what the heck they are. They look like endlers, and they should be endlers, but they're not. They're some other fish, and I'm wondering if they somehow survived and thrived and had babies, because all my endlers look quite different than these ones, unless they have worms or something. I need to figure that out. Did any of you know we have an associated Facebook group by the same name? Please feel free to come and join us there. Totally, Betsy. And Betsy is the supreme leader of that group. I mean, I'll be in on it too. But she has lots of great ideas just for, engaging so we can all get to know each other better. I like that right now the channel is watching from Spokane. Yeah, Spokane. I love Spokane. I've been over there every summer of my life visiting both friends. Oh, whoa! We have new Endler babies. Yay! So these probably aren't then, if they're this new. They're sadly probably not the ones from this male here. That was probably an already pregnant female. Probably her, because she's got some umbilical gooey stuff hanging out still. So this literally happened like a couple hours ago, because I looked in the tank when I turned the light on, looked around for a while. So these are just little swimming heads right now. But yeah, so we've got those. And then also what I wanted to show you, if I can find them, they might have gotten all shy on me, but I have some Tucano or a Tucano tetra in here, which is a rare tetra. But I'm not seeing them. Where are they? Are they hiding? They were really stressed recently, and so I've been on death lookout because I moved them from tank to tank, and they're a finicky bunch. Let's see here. I don't see them in there. You know what? Oh, I'm so silly. They're in this tank. So these are a rare, right back there. Not that great to look at, I have to admit, but I bought them because why not? Let's try to stabilize this and try to find them and follow a bead. They don't make it easy on me. Should we come at them from this side? Oh, of course they all swim away. But they are, if you look them up, they're real hard to find. They're called Tucano L. Now you can see the blue sky endler a little bit better. And actually, this is the color of my fish, to me. So you're getting a pretty good representation from this angle. The light isn't washing it out too bad. They're a little more orange than that, but not like that. That's exactly what they look like to me. But right here they are. So these are the Tucano tetras. They are very expensive. They're usually like $20 a piece. And I don't know too much about them other than that they really intrigued me and I want to talk about them in the future on the channel. But basically, they were taken out of the wild in 1985 and 1994, I want to say, by the same gentleman who wouldn't say the first time where he got them. He was an aquarium supplier, like fish dealer, and went down to South America, got them, and basically wouldn't say where he got them. They're kind of an interesting one. They always look like they have ammonia burn on their gills, but they're fine. But they're just like almost like skinny little barracuda looking versions of the neon black tetra, and they have yellow and orange as they get older on them, so they kind of color up better later on. And they're just kind of an interesting find from the pet store. So I would, Google them if you're interested, because I've never seen them for sale before. And so they're kind of a cool one that I just had to pick up when I saw the chance. Back over here, a couple fish that came to the front. We've got another endler. This is a super orange endler. And then we've also got... There's another, this is the orange laser, which bred possibly those ones that just, off to watch Real Fish Talk. Oh, shoot, I forgot that was on. Sorry, guys. So in any case, I thought he did. Oh, no, Joel did his own show about his baby yesterday. That's what it was. Congrats to Joel on that one. He's having a kid, so... good for him. That's exciting. So let's talk shrimp. You clicked on the shrimp title, so let's talk shrimp. All right, guys. I'm kind of beat up today. My allergies are... So you don't need to look at me too much. But let's go on downstairs. Going down the stairs. So, what do we have going on here? Now, why is... Come on. There we go. All right. So this room gets beautiful natural light most of the day, even ambient. Like, I don't know what it is, if these trees reflect the light, and even with these blinds kind of stopping a little bit of it, like, I'm starting to get... These were set up 4 weeks ago, and I'm starting to get algae on them. So... might be closing the blinds, but at the same time, I kind of like them. Yes, Endler's Game, the room version. Come on. My DIY lights, I'm going to need to figure a new setup out. Something about the power supply up here is not working. You have to, like, twist it and push it and then, like, set it just right. And then it'll probably untwist. So in here, we have all the Japanese blue endlers that everybody has been digging on. Also, I threw in some female leopard endlers. And so we'll see what happens when the two mix. This will be the first time I try that. And we also have a guppy that is a rainbow snakeskin. So basically, I've given up on my blue endler line as far as trying to get that pure. Like, he was as pure as I got, and he's the oldest one. He's as pure as I got, and I'm hoping that those traits I can mix with leopard endlers. It'd be cool, the rainbow leopard endlers that I got, or tiger endlers that I got from Lucas Brett's. Ideally now, I want to try to get lyre tails on them, and the back dorsal fin larger with a pattern on it, because I love how he uses those fins. Like, he knows he has them. He knows... Yeah, you're seeing the annoying light. We'll get off this tank soon. But yeah, so he knows he has these fins. He knows he can put on displays with them, and he knows how to manipulate them, which is really cool. I really enjoy that, watching that. Also in here, we have a grow out of more different pelvicachromis, taeniatus, lokundje, and moliwes. And then down here we have grow outs of pelvicachromis, taeniatus, bipindis. These are from Bentley Pasco. And then obviously, so this is the sire. This is why those fish are all upstairs. This is the sire that I'm trying to replicate his blue tail and increase it, enhance it. So he is with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 or 11 females. And he is the only endler in this. So this colony will be my strain of endler. Upstairs, that Iwagumi tank with all the rock in it is going to be Lucas Brett's famous red endler, what's it called? Yeah, he's losing his little brain. He's going to be overloaded by all the tails in there. Sorry. So the other thing I was going to show you is, well, up here I have well, glare's too bad. I don't even bother filming that tank. I need to move it, especially when the shrimp get here. So also new babies in this tank. It'll be a surprise what they are. This tank's really at its, or not at, but it's near its capacity. It's got black ram snails in there. Later, Water Wizard, you take care of yourself. Soggy Pits, take it easy. I hope y'all have a good time over at Real Fish Talk. Tell them I say hi. I'll probably hop on there after the cast. So I'm trying to figure out, some of these endlers are real anemic looking, and so I'm worried that they might have worms somehow, maybe from these guys, from these pelvicachromis. So we'll find out. I'll probably treat them with some levamisole. Also talk about going crazy. I don't know why they love this poor crooked-backed, hunchbacked female, but everybody loves her. And the two males that look the best are competing for her, and she's got to be tired. Welcome, Daryl Moore. Also, another thing I wanted to show you guys while I'm on this tank, and I know it doesn't have the best lighting, but I love ruby tetras. And let me tell you why I love ruby tetras. It's because they are the perfect barometer fish. If you have a tank and it's set up well, they will be this color or redder. You just have to know like which strain you got and how red they were when they were healthy, or if, you know, in a healthy condition, you want to keep them in something healthy first. But if the parameters are starting to sneak up, you'll start to see them turn like this color. So I know I need to do a water change today, even though I did one like 4 days ago. But we got a lot of fish in this tank. There's tons of fish in here. There's all the cory cats, and there's 18 baby kribs growing out in here. So lots of water changes needed. But they're a great barometer to tell you, hey, something's up with your water. Now, ironically, this tank is also, it's been keeping my Michelin Caridina shrimp alive, if I can find them. There's only 2 in here right now. I was kind of testing it out because I didn't want to off a bunch of Caridina expensive shrimps on accident. So we've got this tank up here that has killifish and their eggs. And then we've got room for neocaridina. This tank's pH is like 5.0 and the TDS is like 50. So it's ready. It just needs a little bit of booster, KH booster, a little bit more calcium up there. This tank has neocaridina in it, and I don't know how long they'll survive because of, well, I don't know, there's a little one right there. But this is my mixed coal tank. I don't have the heart to kill my coals. I usually just give them away to local folks or trade them if they want some. It's not like they're bad quality. Like, in fact, some people are like, oh, that's a really good quality shrimp. But they're just not expressing the traits that I want. Like this blue one it's too translucent for me. But as a male, I mean, that's not a bad shrimp, really. So let's get down to the funky business. Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, anybody? Sorry, I know this is nauseating, but I'm trying to get a position here. So, yeah, come on. My knees don't like crouching. It's sad at this age. The Devon tank. So this one is is dedicated to my mod, my girl, Betsy, and her sadly departed pup, Devon, from Devonshire, England. But from a loss of life inspiring this tank, it is the tank with the most life coming forth in it right now. So we have pregnant shrimp galore in this tank. This one is a Sakura yellow gold line from Lucas Brett's, I believe was the full description on it. And these actually have the DNA for yellow really shrimp, which is pretty unheard of. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the yellow Rileys or Rillies, but I've never seen one in person. I've only seen pictures of them. And she is beautiful. She is large. She got pregnant on the way over here, I'm assuming, because she was buried up like a week ago. And so I put her, not with all the other yellow ones, in the tank upstairs. But you can see the shrimp's eyes. Can you guys see that on the screen? The little dots in the eggs. They're little brown dots. So she's kind of just leaking babies now. Like, she's ready to have them. Also, in the last video, I was talking about how you can tell if a shrimp has shed or dead. And right there's another shed, because you can see the split in the back of the carapace and where it snuck its head out and then it wriggled out. So you'll see that split right in the center of like its shoulder or its back in there. And you want to leave those in. Now, I feed these shrimp in a little glass container, but none of them seem to like that as much as they like to just forage. So mama shrimp is real shy. Also in here, we have a whole bunch of shrimp, and I don't know where they're all hiding right now. Not to be a masochist or anything or a jerk, but I want to show you the other shrimp because there's 2 more pregnant shrimp in here. So let's see here if we can find any of them calmly. So this is my cherry red tank. And basically, where are they all? So there should be 14 reds in here right now. And I'm not seeing them all. This is odd. I don't know. Shrimp are good at hiding, even in a tank without that much in it. So right now I need to replant this tank or decide how I'm going to do it. I want to do it all modularly. So, oh, here's one of the pregnant females too. And these ones are almost so dark you can't tell, but you can see her flapping her, what are they called? Not spinnerets. It's a spider. Her back legs, her little swimmerets. That's what they're called. Swimmerets to fan the shrimp eggs to make sure they don't mold. Now, another one is either in here pregnant or she's done giving birth, because if you can see, they're really tiny. They're brand new. And by the way, in here I'm using Brightwell substrate per FLIPAQUATICS recommendation, Rob's recommendation. There's a baby. I can't tell if that's a yellow baby or a red baby yet. It's clear right now. And it's so small, usually you wouldn't find it in most of my planted tanks. But they're cruising around in here, and there's probably at least 6 or 7 that I've seen at once when I like sit here and study them. But they're smaller than even a period on a piece of paper or something like that. Back up here, we have another pregnant red shrimp. And then also, I wanted to thank Betsy again. She sent me this light, and it's a great little light. It actually does really good color for the shrimp. Let's come around the front here. It has really nice color, so I like this light a lot. I like it a lot. So, got that pregnant one back there. If I zoom out, right now everything's a little washed out, but you know what? Let me try killing the light and see if you can see their natural red coloration. Hold on. All right, so I know that looks dark for a sec, but I want you to see how like red these guys are rather than the light on this live cast screwing with things. So these guys are really, or gals, they're mostly gals, are really nice solid red. And they're Lucas Brett's best shrimp in the world reds, so I guess I should expect that. But yeah, so we got a pregnant red there, a pregnant red there, and then a tank full of little babies appearing, and that yellow one is about to pop. She's about to have a bunch of babies. Catch it on the replay. All right, Laps Aquarium and Vivariums, take it easy. If you're going over to Real Fish Talk, tell them I say hello. It's exciting news that Joel has there with the new kid on the way. So, all right, so what else is going on in here? So I have shrimp coming. Yeah, the light is really nice. Betsy did a good job hunting for that, and it was a good price too. Like, she must have done some research on that. I don't know. Betsy, where'd you find that light? It's pretty rad. So I know it's Amazon, but it's an aqua neat, and this one is like, I think it's 16 inches. It's like 12 to 16 is like, or 8 to 16 is the stretch. But yeah, it's just called an aqua neat. I just think of Aquanet, like the hairspray. Also, by the way, you can tell this shrimp, she's all ready to have a baby, and her carapace has cracked. And so she will be doing those little Pilates, shrimp Pilates, where she bends herself into an upside down U, or I guess the letter N, a lowercase n. And so you can tell with that crack in her seam that she will be giving birth, or probably soon, because that means that her saddle is ready, she's ready to grow, and that's making way for the pregnancy. Everybody's getting busy and pregnant. Also, I should mention, the yellow one didn't get pregnant in this tank. It got pregnant with all the other yellow ones. You can see in these yellows, they're so translucent that you can see their saddle coming back in, and but that allows you some time. So like if I want to put multicolor shrimp together, I can put one or two of another color in here. Their babies aren't going to be able to reproduce for 3 or 4 months. So I have 3 or 4 months to fish them out. You know, probably actually about 2 months old, I'll fish them out and put them back up with their parents. But I like to do that because then they have a better chance to survive. Because these little babies, when they're brand new, neocaridina, they are so small. How small are they? That, you know, they get eaten by anything basically. So we've got 1, 2, 3. I don't know why I'm only seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 reds in here. Oh, I see another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, I'm sure they're all in there. It's just shrimp freak me out because you'll look at a tank where they're all just chilling, and then all of a sudden you're like, I don't see a single shrimp. And they're there. They're usually there. So then these are the world's most consistent blue shrimp. Yeah, in that tank you'd think you'd see them. And like, I want to decorate the tank and make it cool, and I'm going to, but I want it all modular, like the moss balls and stuff, because they dig the moss balls. But then that way I can also kind of get them wrangled when I need to. I don't know. Also, even though this one is running off a hang off the back, it's the only tank down here that is, I put in the airline filter still. These you can get like 5 for $20 on Amazon, but that's just to get good bacteria and colonies of aufwuchs and things growing on them, so that way you can have your fish, or have your shrimp have a little snack. So but yeah, so the reds are doing well. Thanks again, Lucas. They're cute. This one's gonna shed too, so that's always a good sign when your shrimp are all molting at the same time. It means they're all growing and happy, which is cool. I think Lucas's water is really, really hard. I know he does all roadie water, but like naturally he keeps his neocaridina a little bit harder. And so I wonder if the softer water has encouraged them to change and adapt to this out here. So in this tank, we do have one pregnant female blue dream also. I don't know where she's at. And then we also have... where are they? Sorry, I keep dropping the phone. I'm a klutz today. Arthritis. We also have, I mean, they're just so beautiful. Lucas's blue dream shrimp are amazing. So yeah, but we do have a pregnant one in here. His are so blue that I can't tell when they're pregnant. And like I can't see through them, so I have to like wait till they swim or something. This one is a male, so this is what his males tend to look like. A little more skinny, and their swimmerettes down below are just chilling. So the other thing that I wanted to show you, but they really don't come out until later at night, so I'll film a video on the bibaltis in here because they're a real cool shrimp. But let me move a couple things around so maybe you can see things a little bit better. So here's a couple more blues. These are Lucas's. That's more of like a blue diamond than a blue dream in its appearance. I'm sure its lineage is the same. But this is what we're striving for right here. So these, when on a black background, will turn a darker but like electric blue. Like that right up there. And that's show quality shrimp, Lucas's shrimp. Even their antennas, if you can make that out, are blue. So, yeah. The only reason I got a hold of these, I think some might be grade B and some might be grade A, but I've been waiting for 5 months on his Patreon trying to get the blue shrimp, and I miss it every time it sells out. See, like, here's one that's probably a grade B, honestly. But it has those genes that are good. So I'm going to let those reproduce, and then we'll see. Whoa! Sorry, camera. Let those genes reproduce. He asked me why I didn't have them last week. I said, time. I see the notes. They're all gone. Yeah. He goes through those pretty much instantly. When he offers them up, they're gone within a half hour. And that's like, he just offers them to Patreon supporters under his special buys section or whatever, but you can get them not just through special buys. You can get that, like, I mean, I think anybody can buy them. It's just he tips off the Patreon users the second he does it. But yeah, so there's some really nice ones. I wish this camera was focusing better. Something on the lens, or I don't know. But in any case, so those are the shrimp I have. So we got pregnancies in all the primary colors. And then we've also got, so there's this lone fish in here that's still a fry. And I'll pull him out soon, or if any babies are made. But so far in this tank, I don't have to feed this fry because of all the algae, and you can see floating in the water. Well, maybe you can't on this camera, but there's all sorts of little copepods and stuff in here, and he is the same size as a baby shrimp, so I'm not too worried about it. But there's all sorts of little copepods in there, but that is... If it's a female, it's one of Lucas's king selection that's his own breeding stock. If it turns out to be a male, which it looks like it's going to be a male, just to me, that's my gut instinct. A lot of times you can see a bigger teardrop or oval shape on their body of non-translucency, and that will tip you off that they'll be a male. It's not a surefire way, but it's the earliest way you can kind of tell that sometimes. But yeah, so I've got about a dozen of the blue shrimp in here, plus 2 that are my own blue shrimp that were really good grade that I've just bred. And I was only down to a few shrimp. So I really want to get these colonies all going back up. I'll probably try to get them to about 50. And then once they're at 50, which honestly will be maybe 3 months, I'll have 50 adults in each one, or 2 months. Then hopefully I can... start selling them again in large quantity, because my red ones I had been pulling out of that big tank I was able to pull out like 50 a week at one point without putting a dent in the population until I was a dum-dum and put young pelvicachromis in there. Man, the blue on those shrimp from Lucas. I mean, can you see that? It's unreal how blue that shrimp is. Gorgeous. Just gorgeous. We need to make more of those. There's some really cool carbon, really blue shrimp too. But some of his shrimp have like banding, like there would be really or Riley shrimp. Also, there's all sorts of little copepods living on that moss right now. Oh, there you go. You can probably see that little squiggly one that's moving there. But the fish has grown faster than any other fish that size. Like, he's growing at double rate alone in here, being able to eat, but not eat all of them, all the scuds and anything else in there, babies. So, now for the part where I tell you what I'm getting, because it took me long enough to get there, but we have coming in, drum roll, anybody? Okay, so we have coming in from FLIPAQUATICS. He gave me $150 credit, which was so kind of him, to order some shrimp. So I got the thanks, Betsy. So I got the starter pack for the Taiwan bees. So that's 5 panda, either black panda or King Kongs, and 5 red panda or King Kongs, and 5 blue bolts. And then I ordered another 5 crystal red shrimp. And I ordered, I spent my own money too, just because I was like, well, I don't have to pay too much shipping on this. And like, he's being so nice. I want to kick him some money. And yeah, so I'm basically, the way the channel is going to be set up is I've kind of got my 3 go-tos for the moment, which are Lucas Brett's for neocaridina. If you want neocaridina shrimp, go through Lucas Brett's. If he doesn't have them available, go through Flip or Aquatic Arts. For Caridina shrimp, go through Flip. And then for Aquatic Arts, they have tons of stuff on there. They're on Amazon too, which is nice. But they have tons of stuff on there. I've gotten a lot of really good plants from them in the past, and they hooked it up recently. So if you order from Aquatic Arts, use the code all caps Secret Shrimp 10, and that gets you 10% off your entire order. So yeah, Rocks Tanks, what's up? Sibas 10, Seba 10. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but welcome. But yeah, I like to support people who put their blood, sweat, and tears into their dreams, and Rob has put a lot of time into that. So now I have to decide which shrimp go where. All the Taiwan bees can go together, but do I really want to put them in this tank, this 10-gallon? I don't know. I've never really successfully bred anything other than crystal shrimp as far as Caridina go. I could put them up in the killifish tank, but I think I'm going to put the golden bees up there, and then I'll probably put the red crystal shrimp in one of the tanks upstairs, like my nice tank when the ammonia's died down a little bit. And then the Taiwan bees, all 15 of them, those lines, I think... Do I go crazy here, guys, and put them all in this tank, since it would, like, the parameters are spot on, and it can hold almost indefinite amounts of shrimp. So tell me what you think, what tanks I should put them in. So I'm kind of figuring out, we've got the Devon tank, which is, get a 55. I wish my wife would say no. Our deal is when I have enough money that we can build or buy a house, that then I can have a shop for my art, and I can have a entire fish room. But as it is, the Patreon and, I'm not monetized on Facebook or on YouTube, or I don't get any ad money or anything like that right now. I've been in deliberation ever since they revamped their whole thing, and it's been... since February, and I'm still waiting. And they said that it would be done in March, then they said it would be done in April, and now we are in May. So I don't know what'll happen, but hopefully that helps give a couple bucks, like just enough that like 15, 20 extra go to electricity, because also with all these fish, it does get expensive to feed them and to house them and to buy them new thingies, but that's like part of the hobby, and that's why I sell, like that's why I want to get the shrimp up and going so I can sell. That's why I would put them in the tank you were just showing. This one here, Patricia. So I'll call this number 1, even though that makes no sense, and I'll call this number 2. The only problem is I have pelvicachromis that ate all my red shrimp growing out here. Now, that being said, there's only 4 in here, and I can easily move them. You shouldn't technically mix the pelvicachromis because, I don't know, they're rare or whatever. They're not really, so it's kind of like rainbow fish. Everyone in the hobby, down the hole, what's up? Everybody in the hobby says don't do this, do that, whatever, with their fish, but I don't know. As long as you're not misrepresenting them or passing them on without people knowing, I think you should do what you want with your fish. I like being a mad fish scientist, so without any sort of degree or qualifications. So this is still the killifish tank. They've had eggs in here for a long time, and they're not hatching, and it's frustrating. There's also some of their eggs down in here, but I need to come up with a numbering system, by the way. So I'm thinking upstairs I'll just do like a 1, 2, 3, starting in the, like I'll do it from left to right, just like I would read. So the Iwagumi rock tank will be 1, the big 40-gallon will be 2, the one up at the top of the stairs will be 3, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's not filled right now, but I do have like sponges ready, so that'd be 9, and then there's another one outside, it's 10. I got some hornwort from Nature Aquarium in Los Angeles, huh? How did that go? Yeah, the hornwort is what I've been using. Hornwort and water sprite are great for raising fish fry and eggs and stuff. I think part of the problem is the parents are actually eating the babies, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what's going on. I like to give them a little bit of flake. I need to get more back in the frozen food habit too, but I just put some flake food in here, and as you know, guppies are little savages. Guppies and endlers. Oh yeah, I've got MTS for sure. The other thing I wanted to show you is I was going to make a video about it, and then I was like, I don't know if I need to make a video about it. I can probably just explain it in a couple seconds. So I bought some vinegar eels. Let's see here. Some vinegar eels. Can you see that? Them moving around. So instead of frozen food, these are really easy, honestly. So I got some vinegar eels, and these were at an auction. I got the start of them, and then I took half a bottle of apple cider vinegar, half a bottle of water, and dechlorinated water, of course. And then I just poured some of the vinegar eels into here, and I can see them now. They're not in vast numbers, but I can see them in here. And then what I did, oh, actually, now you can see them. So they're populating in here, which is nice. And then I just cut up some apple, and that'll sink to the bottom again. But what's going on here, you can see there's air coming in and out. And what I did was I just tapped 2 pinholes in the top, and then I stuffed gauze up at the top here in just a normal bottle. And you guys want to get scared? Rawr, skull. I don't know if that's not really scary. But yeah, so that's what's going on around here. Oh, also, I got this, I scored this from, it felt really sketchy because it was actually the president of our club, and he has, the president of the Seattle Fish Club, has tattoos all up his neck and head and arms and like almost onto his face. And a lot of times he'll wear like a kilt or like, I mean, he's just like, and he's big and bald and like a burly like Scotsman, or I don't know, Norwegian, something. He's a big white dude with a bunch of tattoos. And I'm out on this part of Highway 99, which is the big stretch through our area that's kind of known for prostitution and drug dealing and stuff. It's like not a good part of town. And I called on Craigslist and I was stuck in traffic and I couldn't meet him at the like fancy park where all the like people have their jogging strollers and like, you know, all that stuff. Vinegar eels. Yeah, they're great. These vinegar eels, sorry, pardon the mess, they will literally live in these containers for 6 months to a year, no problem. And you don't have to refeed them or anything. All you do is, okay, all right, I can make a video about that. But there's a couple ways you can deal with them. So once you get a culture started, like I said, this one will take probably a month to really get going. And then they're just filled with vinegar eel. I mean, look at that. That's like a cloud of them in there. I like them more than microworms for some reason lately because microworms smell. Plus, these guys move a lot more, and they wriggle a lot more, and the fish seem to like go after them, like pounce on them. So one thing you can do is I leave room in this top of this one because this one's really just growing for the long term, and I leave space up top, and I'll put cold water up here, and the vinegar and the water, if you don't shake it up, they'll allow the water up here to, it'll just sit up there. And then basically the eels need air, and so they'll go to the top, and they'll swim up into this layer, and if you hold it still, you can use a turkey baster, and the next morning you'll have all these eels gasping for air up here, and you can scoop them out and then take that same turkey baster and, you know, just put it through a coffee filter, or you can squirt it right into your tank. But I don't like the risk of vinegar, so I always put them on a coffee filter or a little mesh or something, kind of like baby brine shrimp. But for me, this is easier than baby brine shrimp. I don't have to aerate it. I don't have to do anything like that. Just keep it in a semi-dark. It doesn't have to be pitch black. You just don't want it in like hot sunlight. Natural light's fine. But yeah, just keep them kind of like a little shaded and let them mature and try not to kick them over because you need air. And in this one, I just use filter floss as their little breathing tube. Also, I have this monster that I need to use and hook up, but that's a whole other story. Yeah, okay, I'll do a whole video on vinegar eels. That's no problem. They're interesting. You know, a lot of people have done videos on vinegar eels, but let's do this secret history living in your aquarium style. And I'm going to double down and say that I'm going to talk about their biology and evolutionary history because, I mean, I got to offer something new. So let's say that that's what the something new is going to be. I love this. My whole fridge. I've got stuff that I canned and jarred. Thanks, Betsy. And then I've got Polish sausage and salmon. Man, got good food in here right now. A bunch of veggies. And, of course, the junk. All right. Take care, Patricia. Take care. Got milk? I got a gallon of milk. I drink too much milk. So, house is a mess. I need to clean before my wife gets home. I got a couple jobs lined up for graphic design, so this stuff will kill me. I stopped drinking. I stopped smoking the marijuana. Marijuana is probably less harmful than soda for you, honestly. But yeah, so and then I don't know if you guys saw this, but this is the Autosynclus that is a leopard slash, I don't know, there's a bunch of names. Marble, leopard, zebra, tiger, whatever you want to call it. It's like a pretty Autosynclus, and I really love it. And I really want to try to get another one and make them have babies. Like, just yell at them until they have babies. That's how that works, right? So this is the tank, by the way, the Iwagumi tank that has, yeah, he's bona fide. This is the yellow shrimp tank. I hardly ever see them at night. There's like 6 on the rock, but there's 12 in there, and I never see them. Daryl Moore, welcome. Hello. I think I said hi to you already, but I'm not sure. Yeah, so before I go, unless anybody has questions, here's a normal autosync list. Not that you can see its back, but I think they're cute to watch eat. They just eat like little Pac-Men. I was going to tell you guys a quick little story. None of my stories are quick. Who am I kidding? I was going to tell you guys a little story. And basically, so I finished this mural job for the city of Seattle. And we'll just put this tank on view for now. I finished a mural job for the city of Seattle. It's in a bad part of town, downtown. It's not bad like Detroit bad, but I think there's been like 15 murders there, like in the last year or something like that, in a like 5 square block radius. So pretty bad. Lots of homeless people. Not that I'm saying homeless people are killing everyone, but they're the ones getting killed in a lot of cases by drug dealers that kind of prey on them. Long story short, there's a lot of crime, a lot of theft. In Seattle, you can put up a tent wherever you want, essentially. And if you're homeless, they give you 48 hours and warn you to move, which I know in like the Midwest and the South sounds like preposterous. But here we're pretty liberal, and I do think that we need to help homeless folks. So don't get me wrong there. But we let them have RVs and tents literally on the sidewalk, like downtown business district. On the sidewalk, there's tents, and so I was coming home after working on finishing up this mural for the city of Seattle up in their human resources skyscraper. Like 55th floor, beautiful sunset, was real relaxed, just finished the job. Walking out with the client who hired me, and we get out to the crosswalk, and I hear bop, bop, and I look over behind me. There's a guy walking down the street with a pistol, and he is firing straight at us, is what it looks like. And he's walking, and then he starts running towards us, and there's probably 30 people in this crosswalk. It's downtown Seattle. There's like 1 million people. It's busy, and not hyperbole. There's like 1 million people in the area now. There's like 4 million in the metro area. And so the woman who I was with was about, I want to say 55 or 60. Let's call her 50. Just let's be nice. Let's say 50. So she's 50, and she kind of like crouches when we see the gunman on our side of the street running towards us. When do you get a clue it's time to move? Yeah, I don't know. Seattle used to be a rougher city, and then it got all cleaned up and techie, and now like people can't afford to live anywhere, and so I mean rent's $2,000 to $5,000 for a 2-bedroom apartment in the city now. The lowest, I mean, I've seen $1,800 for a 2-bedroom that's like a 1950s building that hasn't been remodeled and has like mold. It's gotten insane. But in any case, let's get back to getting shot at. So I go into panic mode of, is this real? Like, is he shooting at us? What is going on? It was a dude in a black hoodie, Levi's, and it looked to be like a Glock pistol. Like, I've been around guns growing up and stuff. I know a little bit about them. And it sounded about like a 9mm or a 38, something like that. So he's firing them off. They're loud. He's close. He's not even half a block away at this point. And he starts running closer. And so we're booking it back towards the crosswalk and the building we came out of to try to duck into the lobby. But I realize the lobby's locked as I'm going for that motion. And so I tackle the woman who hired me, and we bear crawl or not bear crawl, what's it called? Crawl on our elbows and knees, army crawl, over to a kind of marble planted area that's like a courtyard type thing. And so we scoot over there real quick. This all happens in like 20 seconds. Army crawl, yeah. And basically, she's bleeding. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Almost said a bad word there. In real life, I was saying some other words. And there's other people running in every direction, too. So it's not just us. And I realized soon, like after the first 3 or 4 shots, he's not shooting at us. He's shooting through us at a tent with homeless people in it. Probably a drug dealer thing. Because heroin's a huge problem in Seattle. We have like, I think it's 23 overdoses a day right now, and like 4 fatal a day in Seattle. 5 fatal a day. Real bad. So it's like double car crash deaths. And so a lot of times gang members come down and they prey on the people with mental illness and stuff, and they sell them drugs, and these people don't know where they are. Anyways, yeah, right to carry. I was in a government building, though. It wouldn't have done any good. They had armed security there. But the armed security was at the other entrance. So, and there's a cop station 4 blocks away. So, like, it wouldn't have gotten much quicker of a response. There were cops there in like 45 seconds chasing him. But he starts running closer to us till he's diagonally running past us through traffic, 4 or 5 lanes of traffic of parked cars at an intersection. And he was firing off what sounded like to be probably 16 rounds, maybe 12, maybe it's probably either 12 plus 1 or 15 or 17 plus 1. I think it was a Glock. I don't know. But he fired them all in rapid succession without really aiming. And we hear people screaming and running down the rest of the block. And he runs through traffic, then hops over this fence onto the freeway, like up over this like freeway on-ramp thing, and the cops come running by about that time. Then the people in the homeless camp can't see what's going on our block with the cops all arriving and trying to figure out where the shooter's at and figure out if we're all good to go. And so then someone in the camp starts firing back the other direction. And so that was really crazy. So I'm glad that I'm here, guys. That was a real nutty day to get paid $25 an hour. And so basically on the, what's it called? When she gave me a review, so I just got the review today. This was a few days ago that this happened. When I got the review, oh, by the way, this rainbow peacock gudgeon is pregnant again. She's ready to have eggs. As are those pulchers. But in any case, yeah, so she wrote on the job review thing that, yeah, this gal's also ready to have eggs too. You can see her big belly. On the job review thing, she's like, great client, does great work, amazing artist, and he will literally take a bullet for you. Because I jumped on top of her, and I didn't even think about it. I'm like 210 pounds or whatever, and like 6 feet tall. And I jump on this lady who's like 5'4", thinking like, I'll be chivalrous. That's the right thing to do. The blood wasn't because she got shot. It's because I bashed her knees on the ground. So luckily we didn't get shot, but I scraped her knees. But she was thankful, and we were all okay. It's just, yeah, Seattle's a changing city, and kind of crazy what goes on out there. So you never know what may happen, even right next to a police station. And, yeah. So, all right, guys. Banana plants, I don't have any. I don't have anything against them. I just don't have any. So, yeah. I am going to end this stream unless y'all have any dying, burning, flaming questions. And thank you for watching. Just wanted to let you guys know that I had those shrimp coming. So, yeah, it was really nice of her to say. Good night, all. All right. Have a nice day, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, check out the group that Betsy is totally coordinating on Facebook for us. I'm going to try to get in there. Feel free to drop your fish, like pictures or videos, questions. If your fish look like, oh, there's something up with them, let's use this as a crowdsource. Like, let's be friendly here. It's still a small enough channel and group that, like, we can do that. We can get to know each other. We can chat. Betsy and I chat all the time. I chat with like Waterbox and I chat with lots of people. But let's make this a community. I don't want anybody to feel lonely or left out. And the Facebook page goes by the same name. But when this video ends, I will put a link in it. So that'll be up in like a half hour or something. You can check back that. Or just look at the last live cast. It's on there too. So there you'll find it probably. There's one group with no one in it that for some reason Instagram created for me, so ignore that. It has like underscores and stuff, and I tried to delete it, but you'll see the group. It has like, I don't know, 60 people or 70 people in it. I don't know what's in it right now. It's growing. And thank you guys so much for your support. Rocks Tanks, thanks for joining us today. All right, guys, take it easy, and I will talk to you later. 54, Betsy. See, this is why Betsy's doing this, because she's on point. She is my point girl. She's my wing woman. All right, take care, guys. Yes, I know you a while ago just lost 5 spid serums, got 3 months ago. Okay. All right, guys. Talk to you later. I'll tell you when more of these pelvicachromis give birth. Also, probably in 2 or 3 days, we'll have a video. I'm so excited. I think they ship tomorrow to get the blue bolts and the red pandas and the black King Kongs or red King Kongs, whatever they end up being. It's going to be like a mixed bag type thing. And golden bees and also crystal red shrimp. So we'll have a bunch of Caridina coming in, and I'm excited. Yay. Woo! Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Go check out Real Fish Talk. Tell them I say hi. I'll probably be on there soon. Bye.